Good morning, everybody. It is May 1st, and this is Prime Nation Live. I'm Sydney Roberts.
I'm Tyler Wood.
I'm Jack Nelson.
I'm Tanner Methvin.
And we got Tyler donning the Krispy Kreme hat as Jack took his off. I might put mine on some
Tanner's
point
got
today.
He's rocking one, too.
Yeah,
Oh,
I got it.
Very nice.
I had to, move around with the headphones and all that, but,
It wasn't that complicated. It's the same
okay.
thing.
Nice. I see what you did there.
Was Krispy Kreme time to make the donuts?
That is Dunkin'.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we are not sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts, but we are sponsored by Krispy Kreme. So we want to thank Krispy Kreme for a generous donation and
Giving
for
us
keeping
that
us above water.
KrispyKreme.com.
sweet fried dough.
You can actually print off donuts at home.
Go into Krispy Kreme and say promo code Prime Nation for a free dozen donuts.
Wait till you get that dumbfounded look as they say, you still got to pay for these, man.
No,
Go-
and
go
just
to the-
demand.
Go to the website and say promo code Prime Nation.
Yeah.
And then realize you don't have a voice command computer.
Yeah.
Then print off your donuts.
Yeah,
Go
and,
to-
and just demand, just say Prime Nation sent me. That's all you need to do.
Go to Krispy Kreme, say Prime Nation Live, and watch them pull out the shotgun from under the counter and point at your face.
The one that comes with every Krispy or Dunkin', every donut franchise.
Every donut.
Every one of them gets a shotgun.
If they know what's good for them, they do. People go crazy over donuts. By the way, we didn't talk about this beforehand. Did you guys see that
The
Jimmy John's?
Yes, dude. That
what
video
happened?
is awesome.
Oh,
What-
yeah, the robbery.
He got robbed, and the dude did not care at
Yeah.
all. Like, the gun was literally, like, the dude, like, pretty much was poking him in the face with the gun, and he was just like, all right, man, take
I
the
love
money.
how intimidating that dude is trying to be, and the
Yeah.
Jimmy John's employee could not care less. Especially my favorite's the glove, where he just slowly, he's got the glove on to make food. He
Yeah.
just slowly takes it off like usual.
And you could tell he's just so annoyed by it. He's like as if, like, a
Yeah.
rack just fell over in the back or something like that. He's like,
Like, I'm only
"Gotta
getting
deal with this."
$8.50.
Yeah.
Well,
This-
and the tweet that I saw with it was like, now this dude here, I can tell he's in the middle of finals. He's like, please just shoot me. And I mean, that's really what the dude looks like. He's like, man, I got enough going on. You would do me a huge favor if you just pull this trigger right
I
now.
just thought that this was the Jimmy John's founder taking his big game hunting to a new extreme. He's just like, my own employee.
There's actually a video about why big game hunting is not a bad thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Adam
Okay,
Jones.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of economic factors and
Yeah.
everything like that too. A bunch of people got mad at this. No, it was the dentist who killed the lion, which was pretty messed up.
Cecil.
Yeah, that was messed up because there was no value in that. But then I think a little bit after that, there was this dude who paid $600,000 to a local village to go and kill a white rhino.
Mm.
But it was a white rhino that was killing a bunch of other rhinos,
Yeah.
and it was starting to endanger people and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the village not only got $600,000, but then they got to eat all the rhino meat too.
Yeah.
It's an Adam Ruins Everything video.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
it's very good on that.
Very nice.
Jimmy John's, going back to that.
Oh.
Good sandwiches.
I-
Great sandwiches. Get that
No, no,
day-old
no, that's
bread.
not what I was
We
gonna
are
say.
sponsored by Jimmy John's.
What's up, Tanner?
Oh, I was just gonna say, who the hell robs a Jimmy John's?
Yeah, really. Such an interesting choice.
Johnny Jim. I'm tired of this.
No, it's Fire Marshal Sam from Firehouse Subs. And he's
Firehouse is
going-
pretty good.
Firehouse is good.
I'd never
a little
had
price.
it
It's a little pricey.
until about a year
Jersey
ago.
Mike's
that-
is
yeah.
pricey.
It's Guido
You know-
Jersey Mike himself.
you know what would make it less pricey? Some coupons to Firehouse Subs.
Today's episode is sponsored by Firehouse Subs. So.
Sponsored by Stamps.
We're sending mixed messages. We're talking about Jimmy John's and then
I want
Firehouse.
food from everywhere.
Yeah, we won't say no to free food.
Yeah.
There's Jimmy John's. So I work at a local radio station in town, and last year they had the free sandwich day. It's coming up again this year. But when the DJs on air just started going, "Hey, Jimmy John's, they've got free sandwiches today. All you got to do is go in there. It's one free sandwich per person." All right, cool. People started calling in and they were freaking out because our local Jimmy John's were not participating.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, I heard about
Because
that.
they're
How dare
individual
they?
franchises.
they're
so
individually
they can do
owned,
what they
so
want.
they
Oh
can
my
opt
God.
out. So everyone got very upset at our radio station, and
Burn Jimmy John's to the
I
ground.
want to say that Free Sandwich Day.
now they are very keen to say at participating locations.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
That
yeah.
is very plain in the tweets now.
Man, I
I
thought
get feeling like your radio station job, that must have sucked, but I feel really bad for those people at the counter at Jimmy John's. Like, the
yeah.
workers there, I mean.
I almost went myself, but I was still at work when we started getting angry phone calls, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not going to go now."
Nice.
I thought the Jersey Mike's had a free sandwich day too, but I'm not seeing.
Oh,
anything
I have
about
a
it.
free sandwich coupon from Jersey Mike's in my
Nice.
car right
Nice.
now.
You going to
Just-
use it?
Oh, absolutely. I love me them Jersey Mike sandwiches. I
Yeah,
like
me
theirs
too.
because they have the biggest ones, and I feel like their deli meat is just like more top tier than other
The
places.
deli
I love
meat is
their
A1. The bread is fresh,
Yeah.
plus that juice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all-
I've never
yeah.
liked oil and vinegar on sandwiches till I went to Jimmy John's.
Yeah, I feel like they're
Jersey
the,
Mike's.
Yeah, I feel like Jersey Mike's is the most consistent, but it's also like $14 for a sandwich.
Yeah, well, that's why I do the Shore points. I get the rewards points, so it's like after 4 sandwiches, you get a free one, pretty
Do you-
much.
You guys
Today's
ever-
episode is sponsored
do you
by
think
Jersey
Yeah, I know.
Mike's.
Really, sandwich the episode.
Do you think if they merge, they'll be Jersey John's?
No, they'll be Jimmy Jerseys.
Jimmy Mike's.
Jimmy Jersey.
Jimmy Mike's.
But I see. My real opinion about Jimmy John's, I used to love Jimmy John's until they discontinued the alfalfa sprouts. Do you guys remember that?
Nope.
I do.
They used to put alfalfa sprouts on their sandwiches, and it set them apart. It was a game changer. But now they don't do any more alfalfa sprouts.
Is
What
that
about
a
the
vegetable?
cookies?
Yeah, and
Gross.
It doesn't even add any like flavor. It was just this crunchy texture to it. That
Can
made
you
it
hand me a
really
vegetable
good.
out of that box?
Fresh veggies.
Wait. Do we actually
This
have?
is,
Oh,
this is close as Tyler gets to vegetables. What is
gonna-
it? Processed wheat,
I'm gonna go
fried with
shopping.
Oh,
sugar.
this is wheat? That's disgusting.
I think
That's
so.
a vegetable.
I think donuts. Their like main ingredient is wheat. But anyway, we've digressed talking about food too much, making me hungry. Let's talk about on this day. It is May 1st. Uh-oh.
Yeah, talk with a mouthful of food into the mic, Tyler. Will you chew into the mic for me? It's like the ASMR videos I watch.
Krispy Kreme is not going to appreciate you not donning their sponsorship hat like
Yeah.
that.
Wouldn't be
You
the
saw-
first time it tried to kill me.
You saw Power Rangers?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So on this day, we'll go chronologically. In 1776, at least this is the date they want us to believe, Adam Weishaupt founds the secret society of Illuminati.
I was lizard people back in 1943, and that
Demons.
was before 1943 AD, BC. That's when it was
What's
founded.
the other one that precedes the Illuminati?
The Freemasons?
Your mom?
Freemason. No?
Freemason.
I guess that is. I guess that's what I'm
The
thinking of.
reptilians.
I thought it had a different clandestine name, though.
So I want to take this time to plug a podcast by a comedian that I love. He's one of my favorite comedians. It is Me and Paranormal You, and he goes very in
Is
depth.
that Ryan Singer?
It's Ryan Singer.
Yeah.
And he goes very in depth in interviewing people, whether it is like recently I heard this paranormal investigator that has been writing books about poltergeist hauntings. He actually interviewed a Freemason a couple months ago. There's this one lady whose cousin is like not clairvoyant, where you can see the
Okay.
ghosts, right?
Yeah.
That's
You
where you
click-
see the future, I think.
Oh, not clairvoyant then, but she
Okay,
can.
yeah.
She has her third eye open. She can see ghosts.
Like
and
the
it's
kid
just-
in The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, and it's just a lot of interesting things. So before we go any further into the Illuminati and the Freemasons, I highly recommend you check that out
Nice.
and go that in depth if you want to learn more about Freemasons. They have
Yeah.
a very good episode on that.
I want to believe that the Freemasons are nothing more than just a society of people who really value craftsmanship. But my friend, a close friend of mine, his grandfather was a Mason, and he left him this trunk when he died. And he opened up the trunk when I was there one day and pulled out the Masonic Bible, which is like 3 times
Yeah.
thicker than any Bible you've ever seen. And all the illustration, and maybe I'm speaking out of turn. I don't want to get killed by any Masons, but all the illustrations are of like Baphomet and the devil and everything.
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
Like
No,
there's no
that's so
illustrations
cool,
of
man.
angels or anything like that. All the illustrations are of the satanic aspects.
So my dad and my grandpa are both certified Freemasons. You don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah.
My grandpa
Yeah.
had a stroke, and he recently quit taking his blood pressure medication, or his Plavix, his blood thinners,
Yeah.
just because he didn't want to anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't think there are any black magic going
No,
on here.
no.
He's susceptible to
The
science.
Freemasons is just an excuse for middle-aged men to get together and
Yeah.
like human centipede
Yeah.
lemon party each other. Like that's all.
It was a
is.
fraternity, yeah, even before fraternities existed.
Well, conspiracies in like Illuminati, they're always like, all these corporations are working together. It's like, oh, you might have a point there, and it's all for devil worship. It's like, okay, I think you're reading a bit too much into this.
It just is wild, all the geometry and like the actual craftsmanship that does go into becoming a Mason and everything like that. Because I mean, all the designs that are consistent throughout Masonic architecture and everything are really incredible. That's why I want to believe that.
Don't get me wrong. The Freemason interview that the guy does with Ryan Singer, I think he withholds a couple of things.
Yeah.
But it is mostly just a fraternity. There is no like magic or anything going
yeah.
on. But like, it's kind of just like, my grandpa told me this. He was like, hey, it's more or less just to help you out. Like if you get into trouble and there's a judge that's a Freemason, you could do a certain handshake or put your body a certain position.
Well,
that
do
you
they put the
know.
pin on their car?
You don't have to, I don't think.
Well, what I've heard from people is that if you have that pin on the back of your car, then a lot of times cops will ignore if you're speeding.
It's
and
called
stuff like
getting
that.
a bumper sticker that says Army Wife, and they just will never pull you over,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Oh, sticker says Blue Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Wait, if you're an Army wife, doesn't that mean you're more likely to do something to get out of the ticket?
Oh.
Because your husband's been gone so long?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
No,
That's
absolutely.
a good way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's like that pretty much shows that profiling exists, both positive and negative.
Are you talking about Army Wives, the show?
No, I'm saying you get a bumper sticker that says, like Army Wife. Like
I heart Army Wives on USA.
No, it was on Lifetime.
Oh,
my
I'm
friend.
sorry.
Yeah.
I did.
Get
I
it
took a
right.
shot in the
Yeah.
dark.
I'm curious. What do you think of this guy, this Adam Weiss of?
He's a good guy.
Why
Met him
shop?
several
That
times.
dude
Yeah.
looks like he invented 3 or 4 different fetishes.
I was looking him up. He was a professor of canon law, which I don't know if that's like talking about making sure these comic books are getting everything
Well,
right, or
how-
if it's like
how
actual
many
canons.
How many ends?
2 N's technically.
Okay, I
Oh,
think-
see, that's not,
C-A-N-O-N.
that's not comic book canon. That's like Fyre and
Ka-choo.
canon.
Yeah, like if you ain't no, it's about canon films.
No, I
Like,
thought it was opposite. I thought
No.
that the weapon cannon had 3 ends.
No,
No.
the cat.
3? Oh
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
I guess I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, canon has more. Like Kachu is 2 ends in the middle,
Huh.
and canon, like what's in the Bible, what's in comic books, is 1 end in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Canon.
that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And that
So
one
we're on the
has
same page.
You
yeah.
said 2. You're counting the end one.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
I see what you're saying. All right.
Yeah, I was. My confusion, I thought would have made it clear, but I should have cleared that up better. It's 1 N in the middle, 1 N on the end.
Someone has a joke about that. They're like, is it?
Please try to quote a comedian, right?
Yeah, I think it's Mike
That's a
Kaplan.
really good idea. Yeah,
I think it's
let's
Mike
quote another
Kaplan.
comic.
He goes, "Is it Greg with?" The lady asked him, "Is it like Greg with 1G or 2G?" And he goes, "Well, actually, it's 2 or 3.
Where's the punchline?
You're an a-hole."
But yeah, apparently canon law is regarding the law that governs the Catholic Church.
Oh, so he was probably a really cool guy that didn't get into really shady things at all.
No,
you
not at
know?
all. Yeah, it also applies though to Eastern Orthodox and Oriental Orthodox churches.
Whoa,
No,
Oriental.
those are
Oriental
rugs.
Yeah,
not
like I don't know
people.
what that even means.
Oriental
Orthodox.
Well, there's a lot of.
We're
like,
gonna go down a rabbit hole if we start trying to figure this
That's
out.
what they want you to do.
But anyway, he was.
and he wanted you to go down his rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's like the Illuminati has this whole Adam Weishaupt thing set up, so you just get a massive misdirect.
Remember, according
Tanner is wearing cargo shorts because he's got all them jokes in him.
Oh man! So he says, here's a quote from him. At a time, however, when there was no end in making game of and abusing secret
Think this is a
societies.
game?
Man, how confusing is that? At a time, however, when there was no end of making game of and abusing secret societies, I planned to make use of this human foible for a real and worthy goal for the benefit of people. I wished to do what the heads of the ecclesiastical and secular authorities thought to have done by virtue of their offices. Okay, so he was hoping to make the Illuminati raise like human moral standards to what religion should have done.
there's
he's
like,
foible in it.
yeah, there's a conclusion to that, which is, and then one day our base will be in the headquarters and basement of a pizza place in Washington D.C.
And our spokesman will be the highest selling rap artist of all time.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
yes.
what always bugged me about that. It's like all these, people are in the Illuminati, including Kanye. Really? Kanye got let into the Illuminati.
Yes.
Well, like in a certain sense, it makes sense that they would have the influential people, but like really, Beyonce is going to be.
Excuse
And
me.
we all go to the Bilderberg group every year where we have the cremation of care and we scare Alex Jones.
It'd be funny now if they do that just for Alex
Yeah.
Jones. Like they just amp up the theatricality of it because they know he's in the bushes filming.
Oh, good Lord, look at what. I got to take my T-shirt off right now. I'm freaking out.
I would
Somebody-
be amazed if his son he lost custody to join the Illuminati.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
wow.
No, I guarantee he's like, it's Illuminati ploy to get my kids away from
No,
me.
he's going to try to become Hillary Clinton's secretary.
I just want to do the end of Mrs. Doubtfire family court monologue as Alex Jones was like, I'm crazy, man. I'm crazy with one thing, and it's loving my kids too much.
I want to see the remake of Mrs. Doubtfire about Alex
Yeah.
Jones.
I'm going undercover as Hillary Clinton to get my children back.
Vice
Oh my
News
God.
that had an interesting article headline that I read. Did not read the article. That said, it said,
I like the honesty.
"Yeah, I'm not."
That's the
gonna lie.
best way to
Yeah.
read Vice News is definitely
I-
don't read the
yeah.
article.
Well, it's better than some of the clickbait I've seen recently. It's like, do you know they're splitting clickbait like each story into like 3 pages now?
Oh, yeah. They
Yeah.
do
It's
that for
frustrating.
advertiser purposes
Exactly.
to
Yeah.
make money.
Yeah.
That's
Like
why
all-
there's like 3 good news websites.
all the like, I want to say clickhole ripoffs, but clickhole is just a joke on
Yeah.
those sites, you know. But all those, like on Twitter, you'll click on it and they have to go through a slideshow of 15 things
Yep.
to get to the actual fact you were looking for.
You know what's a great Twitter account is Saved You a Click, where they just find
Yeah.
clickbait articles and just sum it up in one tweet.
Nice.
Back to Vice
Yeah,
News.
sorry.
It's okay. They said Alex Jones, or they had a picture of Alex Jones, and it said narcissism.
Oh yeah, the people studying why he takes his shirt off or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Voyeur, no, is it narcissism
And-
can lead to exhibitionism?
Yeah, it's a
Huh.
way to just get more attention.
Yeah.
I mean, I do love how, when those family court proceedings began, like those court transcripts are beautiful where his
Oh, I didn't
lawyer
see any
is
of
just basically like, this is a performance arts piece, like
Yeah,
along the
I
lines
did
of what
see that,
Yoko
yeah.
Ono does, and he's just been in character. Austin's a weird city or whatever, and it's just like, no, like that dude was recording that stuff like in like his firstborn child's like bedroom,
Yeah.
sitting at like a tiny little table, just
Well,
like broadcasting.
It's so clearly just like a legal ploy because like it probably could work, saying that everything he does is performance art, but that obviously that undermines everything that Alex Jones has worked
Oh,
for.
now
The
I
best
wanna
was
see-
the Pizzagate retraction where he had to like because he was getting
After the
sued
guy
for it.
went down there.
Yeah, and like when he was getting sued for like defamation,
Yeah.
he's just like, I just wanted to say that none of that is necessarily true. We're still investigating into it. They're definitely not sacrificing children. Hillary Clinton drinking baby's blood down there. Not that we know of.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
right. You're just coming.
Cindy, you were
happened.
saying that might work. Now I want to see the version of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, where it's Alex Jones locked up and a bunch of people who are actually performance artists.
Yeah.
And Richard Spencer smothers him to death at the end. Is that how it happens?
Which one's Richard Spencer again?
He's like
He's the Nazi that
Pepe,
got punched.
Yeah, he got punched, yeah.
Okay, I get him confused with Sean Spicer, and I get them confused
Not
with
a huge
Heinrich
difference,
Himmler.
probably.
Richard Spencer's like the legit like real deal Nazi. Like
Yeah.
you could say all those other guys are like
But he's
almost
so
just-
frail looking.
I know, but he is
Well, actually,
Yeah.
that goes really well with the other On This Day we have. Because I have a
Oh.
picture. Yeah, because
Oh yeah, we have like two more.
Yeah, we do
We're
have.
talking about my boy Joe.
yeah. So today was the day that what year was it?
Which one?
I want to say 17.
Talking about
or,
Goebbels?
I mean, I want to say
Goebbels.
1945, but
Yeah.
I'll look again.
Wait, what was the thing in the Illuminati paragraph? Was it foibles?
Foibles.
We got foibles and Goebbels.
Foibles and Goebbels.
Foibles and Goebbels.
Coming to TNT
Yeah.
this fall. Foibles and Goebbels.
Yep.
You're a
Goebbels.
loose cannon, Goebbels.
The only person on this department who can calm you down is foibles. All right. Now I know you two have a past. You're gonna have to get over it.
Turn your calipers and badge now, Goebbels.
He died in 1945. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good death.
That's a damn shame he couldn't have been a part of Operation Paperclip where he could have been working for our government. Like
But see how slim he
Redeemed
is.
himself.
yeah,
Like,
that- okay, so he died in 1945, right? But he
Alex,
lived in
calm down.
Argentina.
So this picture of him on this day, he looks like straight up Nosferatu.
sorry, Sydney, I can't pull up. Your
yeah,
computer
no,
screen.
no worries. But yeah, on this day, if you go to May 1st,
Can you
can
scroll
find
down a
this.
little bit further?
Is that Peter Cushing?
Who's the guy on the far right?
Botched crown jewel stuff. Thomas Blood.
Can you Google Thomas Blood, Tanner? Because this
Yes.
is the ugliest human being
He's
I've
got
ever
such
seen.
a weird
Let me
hair
take
thing
a
going
look.
on. It's like he pulled hair from the back. It's like he has a comb over, even though he has long, luscious locks.
You-
It looks
none
like
of-
he's
Oh
going.
my God.
"Ugh."
Yeah.
Yeah, that is an ugly dude, isn't it?
Okay.
You'd think like if
I
it's
think we're about to show this guy,
Yeah, give
Thomas
me one
Blood.
sec. Keep talking.
You know,
Wouldn't you
Jack
think-
Black played him in like
God, it looks like a Jack Black character.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
exactly like a Jack Black.
wouldn't you think like if someone's painting this, he could go like, I mean, make me a little bit better.
Yeah.
No, he was a legitimate frog man, and that's that making him look human.
See, that's a good picture of him.
Yeah, let me
Look at those
Oh,
mismatched
okay, yeah, that
eyebrows.
isn't,
Oh, this one's better. I got another one.
Is his left eye drooping a little bit? That's how terrible that
That's-
jewel theft was. That his left eye was like, I gotta get out of here.
That is inbreeding at its
I got
finest.
caught by the police.
So real quick before we take our first break, the other on this day is that on May 1st in, 1931, the Empire State Building opens in New York City and remained the world's tallest building for 40 years until the World Trade Center North Tower opened.
Tanner, can you put Thomas Blood on top of the World Trade Center?
Absolutely.
On the top of the World Trade Center on September 11th, 2001.
Oh.
If you can combine it with that Hulk Hogan picture of him kicking down the
Yeah.
tire, that is the best meme
I
of
gotta
all
say
time.
too, Tanner, I appreciate it. I didn't catch it till I went back and watched it, but I appreciated you putting half of Benedict Cumberbatch's face on your own.
Oh,
as you were closing out the
at
show.
the end, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. I like that's gonna be my new thing. I'm gonna have to have the half Benedict Benedict Cumberbatch face and ready to go at any given moment.
Sounds good.
Illuminati.
Benedict Cumberbatch is a lizard man. He's a reptilian.
If you can, real quick, I know I'm springing this on you, but can you get us half Thomas Blood, half Benedict Cumberbatch?
Give me 1 sec here. I can totally do this.
Benedict Cumberblood.
Well, here, we'll go ahead and send it to break, and then you can put that up while we're on break. We'll just let
Sounds good.
We'll leave that on the screen for the whole 10 minutes. But we are going to take about a 10-minute break, guys, and we'll be back here at, 10:30? Yeah, 10:30.
Yep.
All right.
PrisonPlanet.tv.
Back from our first break. It is May 1st. This is Prime Nation Live. We were just going over alternate titles for the movie Gran Torino.
And I'm Tyler Wood.
We won't say on air.
And I'm Gran Torino.
So,
Today's InfoWars is sponsored by Crispy Cups.
Crispy Cups. You know what? That's a brilliant idea. Donut cups?
Yeah.
I said cucks, but all right.
Oh.
Please do not eat the Krispy Kreme donuts because they will turn you sterile and gay.
Both?
Yeah, you cannot be gay and not be sterile. That's how it works.
All right, guys. So it's on every news show this morning, I'm sure, but the Fyre Festival. But some late breaking news this morning. Ja Rule and Billy McFarland, the two partners who put together the Fyre Festival, have been
Seth
hit.
MacFarlane.
I've been thinking about that every time it's been said.
A different spelling though. There's no A in this one, I think.
Oh, okay.
So well, there is.
It was
Okay,
an
we're,
inside job.
we're
Just
going back
for-
to this thing. There are two A's in it. No, there's two A's in it. Yeah.
do
Can I
kinda wanna
buy an
just-
in?
How many pennies did I just throw on the floor, Cindy?
So you might want to turn the mixer down, but also I just want to say for those who don't know what the Fyre Festival is, what exactly was it? I never was clear.
I've got this one.
Okay.
It was supposed to be a luxury music festival experience
Where you can mingle with supermodels and celebrities alike is like what
Yes.
what it wrote on it. Literally, like tried to get people to buy tickets by saying it's
Mhm.
going to be a supermodel filled celebrity like sex fest, pretty much.
Yes.
Well, yeah, it's like supposed to be like a luxury lifestyle festival.
Yeah.
So it was like it wasn't labeled as like a music festival. It was like music, culture, food. Like it was supposed to be like
was it $12,000 for 2 tickets? Or
no,
well,
it was like $12,000. I think. I think
It's-
it was like the opening like
Well, I've
charge
seen
or
the
something like
tickets range from 1,000 to 125,000.
Okay.
Yes,
Good
yes,
lord.
because I once again read another Vice article. A girl and her friend got like some discounted prices, so I think they were originally going to be like, I want to say $3,200 a ticket, but they got like a buy one get one free basically. So they both just paid a combined $3,200. They go
Jesus.
as they're on the plane. I think they flew from New Jersey to Miami, and then when they were going to go from Miami to wherever this island is, they were on the plane and they're like, "Oh, Blink-182 pulled out."
Yep.
And then they're like, well, we're already on the plane. Maybe it's not going to be too bad. And they get there, and supermodels start like just giving everybody drinks to get them excited. They're
Get 'em
like
to
hyping
forget.
everybody up.
Yeah.
They're like, "You're at the Fyre
Oh
Festival.
yeah,
Aren't
because
you
that's
more
the thing
excited?"
too. Is they like everything's like not comped, but you don't have to pay for anything. Like they instructed you
All
to not bring
inclusive.
cash. So these people got stranded on this island, right, with no cash plus thievery's happening. So their like passports are stolen in the process.
yeah, to give a little bit more background, what I was saying first off, the late breaking news is that the two organizers of the festival, who yes, one of them is Ja Rule, have
and
been
the
hit,
other is John McFarlane.
have been hit with a $100 million fraud lawsuit. For it's going to be class action, so everyone who bought tickets or had was employed by them is going to be eligible for the settlement. So
How
what
do you guys?
happened?
How do you guys think the Jaws are gonna respond to this?
Job bless.
They're gonna hope for a good ruling.
And Ja Courtney, Captain Boomerang. What does he have to say about this?
So what happened is
Ja.
they
This is Ja
started
problem.
they started selling. Apparently, Billy McFarland and Ja Rule are partners on this service. It's like I guess a music,
Get
Mhm.
over these names.
some sort
Yeah.
of music service.
Jafar Media.
one of
Jafar.
these, one of these
Jafar Media.
brand new, like streamline. It's not a music streaming service, but it's supposed to get.
It's a
Oh, okay, what it
lifestyle
is.
service,
I remember
right?
what it is.
So you
Is
might want
that
to turn it down a little
it's-
bit more.
It's how you can book clients for private events and stuff like that. So you're supposed to use this Fyre service to book clients, to book musical artists.
Yeah, but I don't think people are really reading into the fine print of what this festival is, because I'm reading right here that their point was they wanted it to be the Chechen prison camp experience. And that's what they were going for.
God.
Chechnya was the country they cited.
Yeah, no, yeah. Ja Rule, he was like big fan of what's going on in Chechnya right now.
They looked at the success that Chechnya has had, and they just couldn't. It couldn't be ignored.
Yeah.
They were supposed to have like gourmet meals, and it ended up just being like kind of like panini ham and cheese sandwiches.
Yeah.
Well, look at
it was
this
prison
picture
food.
they had of just this was think about this. This is $100,000.
Yeah, this was supposed to be an all-inclusive, super luxurious. So it happened at Great Exuma Island, which they renamed Fyre Island for this thing. It's a Caribbean island where apparently the shark problem is so bad that you can't even swim in the Caribbean water.
Sharks in the water.
And so they were supposed to have, they sold VIP packages where you were going to have a private villa experience and all this, and the villas were just throw-up tents that you could rent for $100 a day.
FEMA tents.
And that's also pretty much what they had everyone else in, too. So like Jack said, people started showing up, and then the whole thing was pretty much falling apart from the beginning. People started robbing each other. It was kind of like a...
They're putting them in prison camps and lining them up and just making them listen to terrible
They
club
might as
music.
well send him to the Denver airport.
Oh, don't you get me started on the Denver airport.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much devolved into like a Lord of the Flies type situation where, I'm sure there was someone vying for control and started passing around a conch
they
shell
pushed
or
a
something.
giant rock on top of Piggy, and they're just like, he is the one obese man at this festival, and we must get rid of him.
Yeah, because everyone who was here was Instagram models. No,
Oh, yeah, that's what, where's that,
I remember now, the way that I heard about this was that apparently Kylie Jenner was paid $250,000
Yep,
to promote the
on
festival on
and she
Instagram.
has since deleted the post.
Yeah. That's awesome.
and didn't go to it herself. She probably knew.
So I
Yeah.
heard about this because there was an article from New York Magazine shortly after it came out. The Fyre Festival was a disaster, but we didn't have a ton of details. There was this great article, and it has this amazing last line because this guy was hired originally to like work on the festival to make it good. And his last line here...
He should have been fired.
No, he left after 4 days. He was supposed to stay there for 2 months. He left after 4 days because of how bad it was. And he said, I cannot explain how or why the bros running this festival ignored every warning sign they were giving along the way. The writing was on the wall. I saw it firsthand 6 weeks ago. They overlooked so many very basic things. And the kicker, and baby, they forgot to make me sign an NDA. That is awesome.
He's
I like
got to be
how-
a real cool guy that he unironically says baby.
Yeah, and he's accusing other people of being bros.
Yeah. Baby, I didn't have to sign that NDA, and now I'm doing stuff on my Coke jet.
And boy, that is a humdinger.
Yeah, it's my Coke jet. It's a jet made of cocaine.
Well, if anyone came out unscathed from this, it's him. I guess he still got paid a little bit, even though
He'll
he
probably
pulled out
write
and
the
then-
book.
He can't because he was only there for 4 days. I do want to see the movie, obviously. Who do you get to play Ja
well,
Rule?
it's funny. Did you guys?
Michael B.
what's-
Jordan.
No, what's his fat guy? Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Michael B.
Have
Rule.
you guys seen War Dogs?
Did you guys see that Seth Rogen and the Lonely Island tweeted like shortly after all this stuff went down, and they're just like, it's basically just something along the lines of them being like thinking of suing like the Fyre Festival for stealing the idea for a movie we're writing that's almost exactly this. So, like the Lonely Island are working on a new movie right now that's about a musical festival that just goes horrible.
Wow. So I guess I could see how they could.
Yeah, again, proving
It could
satire is dead. You can't satirize
Yeah.
anything because this is a non-ironic quote that I love. That's from one of these super rich people that paid to go to this thing.
Uh-oh.
It was such a traumatic experience. Although a lot of people are calling it a mockery, that it's just rich kids not knowing how to camp, that's not the situation at all. It truly was the worst 27 hours of my life.
I
And
get accused of being a bad person because I lack empathy on people that are doing better than me in various aspects of life. Don't have any empathy for these people.
Oh,
at
no,
all.
that's why I read that so mockingly because, yeah.
She's
who
like,
cares?
that's not what it was at all.
You
There were
wanna-
also some upper middle class people there who didn't know how to camp.
Who
Hey, if you
blew
want
all
the-
their life savings.
If you want the
Poor
real
people.
Chechnyan prison camp experience, boy, can we hook you up.
So yeah, this is a disaster. Like I said, it's probably covered on every news source, that's out there right now, just because it is so ridiculously entertaining whenever
This is-
something like this happens.
This is like a failed Project X for celebrities.
Yeah, and it, so apparently the founder or Billy McFarlane, he put out a statement. Well, he was making statements, and they were all pretty much word for word. So in
The
his
same thing,
in
yeah.
his prepared statement, he had to include to various sources that his interests include, quote unquote, for some reason, a love of rap.
Yeah.
He had to.
I don't
put
know
that
if you
out
know
there.
this, but not a lot of 25-year-old white guys like hip-hop music.
No,
It's,
I'm 22 personally.
yeah.
I'm 23 and
I
I
do
have
love-
no rap CDs.
I
No rap
do
albums.
love
CDs.
him just being like, next year we're definitely gonna start earlier. Like so optimistic. Like we'll be back, baby.
Honestly, I got to give him some props for like saying he's going to come back next year.
Drugs do wonderful things for you.
He has
you know?
high hopes, but if you're paying out $100 million because of the first iteration, I guess unless you're hoping to make that back from the second festival.
I have a feeling it's going to be a disaster every year, and every year celebrities are going to go because it's like, I want to be part of the disaster.
Yeah,
this
that
year.
might be the appeal of it.
Oh man,
Burning Man used to be the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah,
but
what
now
if they
they're
just
like,
start doing just battle royale on this island every year, where they're just like, no, we like go here, we dress up as like schoolboys and schoolgirls, and we just kill each other.
Yeah.
like almost like The Condemned?
Yeah, well, Battle Royale is the original. It's a Japanese movie novel. It's very popular.
I only watch movies with Stone Cold Steve Austin
Yeah,
in
but-
them,
but
so
Stone
if you
Cold-
could, if you
Stone
could limit
Cold-
that
yeah.
to The Condemned and the other one he's in, I'd appreciate it.
How about we combine the Condemned, Battle Royale, Surviving the Game, and the Hunger Games all together? So it's Jennifer Lawrence, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Ice-T top lining a movie together.
I'm down.
Yeah, let's
that
get
sounds
it.
great.
Let's make a festival. Let's
Yeah.
make a film festival
Oh,
on an island.
And how could I forget Hard Target with Jean-Claude Van Damme being hunted down by people? That's the best one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that would be good in terms of equality, because without a doubt, Jennifer Lawrence would be the highest paid actor in that film.
Yeah, I don't know. Jean-Claude's doing pretty good for
Are we
himself.
calling her? we calling her an actor now? Is that not actress?
Oh, well,
It's a blanket term.
I was just asking. I was like, is
No,
that
I-
the official thing
yeah,
now?
I don't know.
I
don't know.
call them like, I guess I say
I call them
actress,
dang
but I just-
floozies is what I call them.
We just have to call acts. They're acts now.
Okay.
There's
I
no.
call them thespians.
Can we
Thank
call
you.
them annoying because I got a theater minor and I hate actors or actresses or whatever your gender neutral term is.
No matter
know
what,
that
I
they're-
hate
yeah.
you.
So somewhere where you would not. Or
Is this a
rather,
riddle? Somewhere where you would not.
Riddle me this, Tyler.
Somewhere where you would not ever want to find yourself.
My mother-in-law's house.
Great Exuma Island. Yeah. Especially if
that
it's renamed Fyre Island.
It's called Great Exuma Island, which makes it sound like a villain from a mummy movie. Like, the Great Exuma will come and destroy you.
He exhumes all the other mummies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
Exhume is in the title. It doesn't, give me the best, like...
I guess you could pronounce it eczema, but
Yeah.
that doesn't have a better connotation.
Eczema. Hey, welcome to Eczema Island. Hey, I'm so itchy.
Whoa, you're doing a Jordan Bench impression there. That shouldn't steal his material that he
Oh.
stole from somewhere else.
All right, guys. So
The Jew
something.
voice, that's a thing that...
Yeah, I don't know if you can call that.
He's real talented,
You
though.
might call it hack, but you would you couldn't call it stealing. But something you would not find on Great Exuma Island
My
is
passport.
Speaking of hacks...
a penguin waifu.
Oh wait, I thought we were saving this one for nerd culture.
Oh well.
Oh,
I
who
guess-
cares? We're already there.
All right,
Just
yeah,
keep
fine.
power through,
All right,
baby.
all right,
This planning.
No, I don't know what to do.
all right.
I'm-
Yeah, penguin waifu. This is the best story of the
Oh
week
my
as far as
god,
I'm
I
concerned.
love it.
Tanner, who's your waifu?
Probably Lucina from Fire Emblem Awakening.
Yeah,
You
mine,
can't say probably and then give that detailed of an explanation.
mine's Chie from Persona 4, and that's because I picked her as my waifu in Persona 4.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'd probably say it's the girl from... Hey, Tanner, what's the anime where they dig? Like they're in an underground thing originally and
Hey,
they dig out.
I don't know.
Let's
but I
remember
think
that we
it's-
spent 15 minutes in the last episode talking about hot animated girls. So
Yeah, it's...
Also, I
I'm
have other
keeping the
waifus.
tradition alive.
Jessica Rabbit.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
do some research. You fellas head on without
also
me.
Diva from Overwatch.
I can proudly say that I have no waifu. And
I would not say that proudly.
have
Yeah,
no
why are you
plans.
alone?
Why are you saying? Why are you fetish shaming me right now?
Do you have a husbando?
Nope.
I have both.
I have no predilections towards animated characters, Japanese or otherwise.
All right, cool. How's that pedestal feel?
Ooh.
Feels
Uh-huh.
pretty good.
Oh,
Ooh.
look. Oh, he's putting a noose around his neck on that pedestal. It's really weird.
No,
What
it's
are you
so
doing?
that I can always have the high ground, Anakin.
Oh.
So yeah, this
Did you
art-
just quote the prequels?
Of course.
I'm gonna
yeah.
walk out right
That's the only quotable line.
that's the best line of the prequels.
Yeah, unless you're quoting some Jar Jar Binks.
You know what?
The
This
Gospel of Binks.
this
Mine's-
image this image here does look like the waifu saying you can't win what's his name?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you can't win Okayoda or whatever. I have the high ground. But I don't know why that was the name I chose.
Are you talking about? Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
You were trying to get. Oh, the penguin's name is Grapekun.
Oh, Grapekun, excuse me. So yeah,
What are
this
you grape guns doing on my
I thought you forgot
just-
Obi-Wan's name, and I was like,
Oh,
how
no,
in the
God.
hell did Tanner?
just for the people who haven't heard this story, in this zoo in Japan, to boost attendance or whatever, they teamed up with this anime. What's the anime about again?
Kimono and Friends. It's a new anime like media cross promotional like media series. You know, like a lot of Japanese shows are. That is about zoo animals in a Japanese zoo that get transformed into what else but hot teenage girls.
Absolutely. And so we got this one.
Can you repeat that last part, Jack?
They get transformed into what else but hot teenage girls. Okay. It's Japan, baby. Everything's gonna make you feel like a pedophile.
The guy from the Coke Jet.
Yeah.
So here's
Coke
so they
Jet.
had this lady, the penguin character, and they put her in the penguin exhibit, as you would. And one of the penguins got really infatuated and is now in love
with Hululu.
with Hululu.
It's hilarious. It really is adorable. This 20-year-old penguin, which is elderly for a penguin, he just sits at the bottom of the rock that she's perched on all day. He doesn't
He's
even
gonna get
eat.
statutory charges against.
What a basement dweller.
He's just down there so he can look up her skirt. Well, cardboard cutout.
It got worse because they had to it got so bad they had to lock him away from her.
Uh-huh.
Did you see that image?
Yeah.
Could you put?
Why didn't you move the anime character?
They had to keep it in view of the spectators.
No,
they got to get their
everybody's
views up.
coming to see the anime character in a zoo setting. That's all it is.
I just never thought about it until you pointed out, Tyler. They moved the penguin into a cage rather than move the anime character.
But
Yeah.
apparently, when they first wrote this article, they made it seem like they had to lock the penguin up because he wasn't eating. But they did an edit and said that they only locked him up so that he wouldn't fall into the pool during closing hours. Which
They only locked him up to bully him.
I don't know why they're worried about a penguin falling into a pool, though. That's like penguin's natural habitat. So
Well, he's 20, so
True,
that's like
yeah.
a 7-year-old falling into a pool.
a 70. Yeah. We probably
A
don't want that.
7-year-old falling
Yeah,
into
that's
a
true.
pool.
Also, of course, as you might expect from something like this, there's some amazing, cute fan art like this.
I've
It's
got my,
adorable. I like this one a lot.
Okay, yeah, I've got my. I'm scrolling down on my screen if you want to pull
Oh,
that up.
oh.
God, look
absolutely.
how short that skirt
Yeah,
is.
really. I mean,
No matter what, I'm gonna feel like a creep watching it.
and I wonder, so if she was a penguin who turned into a teenage girl, where'd the headphones come from? Or the clothes, for that matter.
The headphones
Why
are
are you
supposed to be like the ears. Why are you poking holes in an anime?
I just have some questions here, is all.
If you
So,
poke holes into any of this, you're going to jail.
Yeah, did you have like an anxiety attack watching Inception then where you're just like, yeah, but how does that work? And what about this? It just doesn't make any sense.
No, it wasn't animated, so.
I found my waifu. It was Yoko from Gurren Lagann.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
no.
should just have a waifu episode one
Yeah.
day. Yeah.
We should all bring in our collective waifus. If we could get Japanese body pillows.
Tanner, if you could
I'd
go
be a
back to
happy
my
man.
my camera, I have my waifu.
One sec. Crap. I'm doing great, guys.
I asked, you had one job. There we go.
Oh, what's happening, Tyler? I'm taking your waifu away from you,
I will
and now
kill
you're
you.
getting crispy cooked.
I will kill you.
It's the only time Tyler's waifu is going to be hot and ready.
She's actually cold and crusted now.
Just how I like to eat them.
All right, so with that, guys, well, no, we have about 2 minutes, so
I
is
mean,
there something we can...
besides
We can say cucks until we...
Yeah. I mean, like,
okay, here it's worth noting the Mark Zuckerberg story.
Wait, what's the name of that website? Gobiano?
it's an
Sydney is the one you were on?
Oh, let me see. That was, Go Boyano, yeah. Just
I don't
similar
know.
to Foibles.
I just want to talk about this.
Foibles, goibles, and goiboyano.
I just want to talk about this freaking penguin some more. Is he not your hero? He's my hero.
Yeah, I think
Why would
he's
he
how
be-
I feel internally on the inside all the
Yeah.
time.
Why would he be my hero when he does the same thing I do? Worship women that might as well be inanimate.
I'm just surprised that I haven't seen a flood of tweets from teenage girls saying, like, this is the kind of dedication I need. Like, if you can't give me this, then we can't
Well,
even
this
talk.
is like Twilight.
I want Wendy to be next to her in this situation, and let's just take it full Twitter and have that little anime Wendy's that everybody's using now.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
wait, they did an anime version of her?
No,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
because
I know
of
what you're
like
talking about.
how Wendy's is like their social media accounts are being so like snarky.
Yeah, yeah.
They've now there's all this Wendy's fan art that's turning Wendy's into like a snarky anime teenage girl.
Huh.
And it's fantastic.
Nice.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
hilarious. No, I
it's
haven't
just
seen
her
that yet.
talking smack against like the Burger King and stuff.
Yeah, those corporate Twitters are interesting. Some of them
We
do it
gotta
right.
relate to the people. I love how Arby's is just like here, like look, we jizzed out a Superman logo onto our roast beef sandwich. And it's just
Excuse
like,
me?
They had a Kirby tweet where it's like Kirby turned 25 years old today, and they had Kirby sucking up a bunch of onion rings.
Arby's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite Twitter account regarding to fast food is Nihilist Arby's.
I was about to say,
Oh, yeah.
Arby's should have just embraced nihilist Arby's.
And that's done by why am I spacing on his name right now? That's done by the lead singer of the punk band, the Lawrence Arms.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, why are you blanking on that famous man's name.
And did you
He's
guys ever
famous in
see the
certain
video
circles.
where, I mean, I'm sure these things are all set up because it's the same guy in every video, but the dude talking about the Arby's, I can't remember the context of the video, if it was like maybe broken into, or if a car crashed into it or something like that. You might
Oh, yeah, I
recognize the
remember that.
guy, but he just does these like troll interviews, and I think it's all just a YouTube
Yeah.
gimmick, you know. But I'll try to look that up real quick and
Zach
I wanna take-
Galifianakis.
I want to take this Arby's, like them just really trying to embrace millennialism and accepting to just like making the LGBTQ. I think that's where they need.
Oh,
to go.
he's the one that does the. He also did the Antichrist. The Satan, the Church of Satan
You
thing.
Oh,
can
And
yeah.
like
get
the-
stuff.
I think the Arby's one is perfect. Everything else is kind of too obvious that he's
Mm.
putting on a show.
Mhm.
But yeah, if you look up Weird Arby's Guy Original on YouTube, it's hilarious.
And like, here's an example of nihilist Arby's. You think you've got problems? You do. Love is an illusion, and a brutal persistence of time will destroy you. Arby's, die full.
Ooh, that's a little too
I'm
relevant.
thinking Arby's.
All right, guys. Well, it's time for our second break. So we're going to come back. We might talk a little bit about Mark Zuckerberg. Then we're going to get into nerd culture. So stick around for the next 10 minutes, and we'll be back. Back from our second break. It is May 1st, and this is Prime Nation Live. We're going to talk about some nerd culture, guys. Starting off with Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It opened internationally to 101.2 million. Big
Yeah.
surprise. I
No
think
way.
I didn't
I
think
thought
that
it
movie
was-
was going to
yeah.
make any money.
Just bomb hard. I thought that Fast 8 was going to take
Excuse
it
me,
out. You know.
Fate.
Yeah.
Fate of the
Yeah.
Furious.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do you call it Fate for short?
Yeah, and see,
Yes.
I can't remember if I brought this up on the show or not, but I'm super surprised, legitimately surprised, that I haven't seen any promotional material that's F8 of the Furious.
Yeah.
You know? I didn't
No,
see
they
that
thought that
anywhere.
was too obvious. And Vin Diesel just sat there in front of it, and he's just like, I don't get it.
Oh, he was too busy recording that cover song. Have you heard that?
Which one?
We played it. Yeah, I guess he's done a bunch of them. But the artist Kygo, he has a song with Selena Gomez, and I think that Vin Diesel has covered multiple Kygo songs, but he definitely did this one. I forget the name of it. It Ain't Me, I think.
And it's just
Very similar.
And he's doing it over, like, he doesn't have an instrumental version. He's doing it over them singing.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. Like, so
Yeah.
like
I don't
seeing a
know-
rapper live.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't even know if he took Kygo out or not, but Selena Gomez is definitely singing along, and he's just singing with her.
Mm.
I love him doing, like, the whatchamacallit song that they did, like the It's Been a Long Time, the Paul Walker tribute
Yes.
song that they
Oh.
did. I love,
He-
like, watching
Was that
him,
Wiz
like,
Khalifa?
sing that at, like,
Yes,
a party.
it
It's
was.
Wiz Khalifa with, like, Maroon 5 or some BS band like that.
I think
And
it's
just,
like
Hey, I
someone-
love that song.
I think it's some like
Why?
up and coming
Because it
dude.
just, I don't
not
know,
Maroon
man. It
5,
hits me
but-
hard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whenever you think about it as a tribute to Paul Walker, it's one thing, but then as a standalone song on its own, it's
And
very
you think
cheesy.
about how much it plays and how much money they're making off his
Yeah.
death.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
No,
yeah.
I can't
Oh
believe there's
my
not more
God.
T-shirts.
I was listening to the local pop station recently, and the guy was like, "Oh man, I'm having a tough time right now. This is the call I just got." And the DJ plays the call, and it's basically this couple.
Can I guess? Is it like Paul Walker calling in and he's just like, I'm just having a great time driving back from a party right now. What's that
No.
tree doing there?
driving the
No.
sweet Porsche.
Yeah.
That's some late breaking, cutting edge comedy you got there, Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Hasn't happened 2 years ago. No, it's this couple who had a child that was stillborn, and they're like, "Yeah, can you play that song?
Oh.
Because every time we hear it, we
Dude.
think of our kid."
Oh,
And I was
man.
like, "You're bumming me out. I'm trying to eat my Bojangles in this parking lot in peace,
Well, that's
and you're bringing me down."
that's my thing about pop stations. When they do play songs like that, I'm like, no, play upbeat, happy stuff. That's
Mhm.
why I'm tuned into the pop station.
But like, and I don't know. I don't want to. I mean, obviously they're grieving and they have their own way to cope with it. I can't say that that's wrong. But the point of that song is like remembering all the memories you made with that person, all the good times you had with them, even though they might be gone. Like you didn't
And
get to
I-
have
you
any
didn't
of that
have
with
any good memories,
yeah,
you know.
with a baby.
I mean,
yeah. It's an interesting
again,
choice.
I like the song, but I don't want it on my pop stations.
Ooh.
Yeah, can you just this song goes out to Sydney and Dave. They just lost their child. In the arms.
No, you're
Let's-
right. Because what I would rather have is this one. This one goes out to Laura and Bob. They lost a kid recently. It's Nicki Minaj.
I thought I was
No,
gonna,
I-
I was
yeah.
gonna
Monster
go,
blood sucker.
Yeah,
y'all
so,
gonna make me lose my mind.
Yeah,
So,
just move, bitch.
I want this to go out to Molly. Her 7-year-old unfortunately passed away.
Jay Tamale?
Once I was 7 years old.
Oh God!
Did you wait, was the
That was
lady's
good.
name Tamale?
No, her name was Molly.
Oh, I thought
It goes to Molly. This
To
goes out
Molly.
to Molly.
Oh, I thought you
It
said
goes out to Molly.
Oh, that really
this
was
is
good.
Tamale. This is Tamale by Tyler the Creator. Tamale, 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 Tamale.
Oh man! Oh jeez!
Oh boy.
What a tangent!
Yeah.
So Guardians of the Galaxy also has Vin Diesel in it, and he's Groot.
True. And
And it's got Sly Stallone, which is
Wouldn't
the
that
thing
be
I'm most
amazing if for
excited
some reason his Walkman that has like all those 80 hits was like, it's been a long time.
He's like, why is my Doritos bag playing this?
yeah. And I think that's. Guardians of the Galaxy might have been one of the first companies to sort of tap into the nostalgia. 'Cause I know
Guardians
for
of the
me-
Galaxy Incorporated.
Yeah.
Well, an LLC.
Because with their soundtrack from the first one, I know that was a big part of getting such a wide audience. Because so many people who grew up listening to those songs on the radio, when
Yeah.
they were
Well,
actually teenagers.
and then
And
it
And they
such.
played it in the trailers
Yeah.
too, which was
Mhm.
a huge. And actually, that soundtrack I believe still holds the record for the. It's the highest selling album of all time for songs or a compilation of songs.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and the third one, it's going to be a compilation of songs that are all from prior movie soundtracks. So it's like Mrs. Robinson, you've got
Forrest
Girl, You'll Be a
Gump.
Woman Soon from
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction. It's all it's going to be real meta.
I want one of the various Vietnam themes from Forrest Gump.
You just
Down
go-
there.
Yeah.
Can we just do
Whoa.
can we just do a Vietnam Forrest Gump soundtrack?
But something I haven't
exclusively?
thought about that they'll definitely tackle either in Avengers or Guardians 3.
Is Vietnam?
No, is modern music. Whenever Peter Quill gets his hands on some modern music.
Oh, yeah. That, you know what? That would be a lot of fun. He's just vibing out to Skrillex, just sitting
Well, no,
there.
I picture him just saying it's all garbage.
Oh, no, I imagine that he loves Frank Ocean. I want just like a scene, and it's just like you got some nice Frank Ocean, like that biking single with Jay-Z and Tyler Creator, and it's just like Star-Lord shooting aliens. That sounds great.
It would be hilarious if he just gravitated towards like the Yonkers style, just
Oh,
straight up like
It's
what do they
been
call
a
that?
long
He's just
time.
listening to Death Grips in space.
Yeah.
I remember someone, I think it was just a tweet, but someone was saying in Infinity War, we really need Star-Lord and Captain America just discuss modern music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like those
that'd be
two.
great.
It's
Just
just
what they
them
feel like.
sitting
Just
on
saying.
like a front porch and rocking chairs, and they're just like, things were better back in my day.
Things were better back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm from the 30s, so we have nothing in common.
The thing we do have in common is that we are both coming from incredibly racist times. That is the best
the
part.
80s?
Oh, have you seen an 80s movie? It's just slurs left and right, I feel like. in
Gran
most
Torino
things.
was from 2008.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
It is crazy to watch like what's the one with Charles Bronson? Where
Death Wish.
Yeah,
Planet of the
Death
Apes.
Wish.
Ooh, those are
Dude,
those are some rough movies.
not only
They're a lot of
like
fun.
the sexual assault scene is pretty brutal too, but yeah, just the words they use. They do not care about the new F word. They don't care about any of the racial
Look
slurs.
at Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted, they're throwing out like the new F word like crazy. It's insane.
Huh.
I love those movies, and all of a sudden it just hits like a hard break when all of a sudden you're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like,
did you see there's supposed to be there was talk of working on the third one?
they've talked about that for 25 years.
Yeah, but it was it wasn't necessarily recent, but in like the last 6 months I've heard
Oh,
that
yeah.
Keanu Reeves, has expressed
That's like
interest
Keanu
in-
Reeves talking about making that Cowboy Bebop movie where he's just like, gonna do it one day.
Mm.
And it's just like, never get. But like recently, it's just like, oh yeah, it's never gonna happen because nobody's gonna give us $500 million to do an R-rated space crime movie.
Well, you can't find a corgi that's well trained. It's like the corgi makes the Cowboy Bebop.
Exactly.
Well, you got CGI now in these days, but I feel like
Andy
Keanu
Serkis plays the corgi.
I feel like Keanu, like probably 5 or 6 years ago, didn't have enough clout to make something like that happen. But Keanu's pretty close to.
To do
To
Cowboy
Matrix days,
Bebop right, it would have to be so expensive.
Yeah,
Because
Okay,
it's
Tyler,
such
you
a
got it
crazy,
out.
fantastical world.
Trying
Look
to
at that.
help you.
is
He
that
had some donut in his beard.
that's why you keep the beard around? Whoa, man!
Dude, this is
Whoa.
erotic.
What, where
This is like a Dove
Do I
soap
still have
commercial
it?
right
Do
now.
I s-
No,
No,
you
I
got it.
think
You
you're
got it.
This is how real women eat a donut.
Dove is right for me. Today's episode brought to you by DoveStamps.com.
Enter promo code Present Planet for $15 off your first order. Dove
Hey,
stamps.
this is worth noting. Another on this day, I can't remember what year it was, but it said the first adhesive stamps were released in English. or in England, but they were called penny blacks.
I was tired.
I
of those.
hate going to the Penny Black store to get my stamps. Enter promo code CATS WTF.
All right, today's show's brought to you by Stamps.com. That's right.
Get a
Stone
free
Cold's
digital
bringing
scale.
you deals on stamps. Enter code Stomp a Mud Hole to get 50 free stamps and 4 of them with my face on it.
Can I get Stone Cold promoting HelloFresh?
What is HelloFresh?
HelloFresh,
Food
you know,
delivery?
it's like the food, fresh food
Oh.
delivery service.
I had Blue Apron for a while until WrestleMania 13 when I broke my neck. After that, I had to switch over to HelloFresh.com. It's just a smoother transition. I don't have to go. I don't have to get out of my wheelchair to go down and pick up my food anymore. And I'm from Texas. I will stomp a mud hole in your ass and walk it dry. But I am not fretting about these dry steaks. They are the juiciest, delicious steaks I've ever seen.
That is every Stone Cold promo, and every Marin one is just beginning with just like, I hate going to insert business
Yeah.
here.
I hate being alive.
I hate going to the grocery store. But you know what I do love is having fresh meals delivered to my doorstep.
I hate doing a popular podcast.
I hate
having a multi-million-dollar show in syndication.
I hate doing a show where I can't somehow figure out a way to incorporate my social life and circumstances into your life stories. I don't know if you know this, but I had an interview to do SNL with Lorne Michaels,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
will bring it up on every episode.
There's a whole best of just him talking about Lorne Michaels.
Oh man,
I've
yeah.
had 7 concussions.
Jesus.
What am I promoting?
Yeah, that's the real every Stone Cold podcast read. Does Stone Cold have a podcast?
Oh yeah, he does.
Oh,
wow.
So does Chris Jericho, and so does Jim Ross.
Huh, okay.
Jim Ross is one of the most famous wrestling commentators.
Gotcha.
His wife recently died. She was on a Vespa, and a drunk teenager
Was
ran her
Jim
over.
Ross the one who had
Ooh.
the stroke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By God. He does not have a stroke. He does not have a stroke. He has Bell's palsy,
Oh, okay.
which numbs both sides of your face.
Oh.
Mhm.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, wow.
Both sides. Wow.
I'll tell you what numbs my taste buds. HelloFresh.com.
I'll tell you what numbs my taste buds.
Oh, God.
He doesn't. He's not. No, that's not it. His tongue isn't numb. It's just his jowls. No, it's by God, King. How do you learn to fall off a 15-foot ladder?
How would you like to have to drink every meal that you have?
Oh, Jesus.
Today's podcast brought to you by 50 Cent the video game.
Thank you.
They got more helicopters than I've had concussions. That's a bunch.
Oh, God. Yeah, thank you for that segue, man. All right. Yeah, we'll send this to Jack. You brought it to our attention.
Okay, so there was a series of 50 Cent video games. Yeah, there's 50 Cent Bulletproof for the PS2 and Xbox, and then for the next generation consoles, so for some reason, for PS3, they made 50 Cent Blood on the Sand, which is this very,
So hold on, give us at least the lead into the plot on that one, because I had a hard time trying to figure out how they were going to have 50 Cent in the Middle East.
So
but-
50 Cent catches bullets
yeah.
yeah,
So,
with
yeah.
his body.
So there's a
Yeah.
bullet time mechanic in the games. And so 50 Cent is performing in a Middle Eastern country. Is there a specific Middle Eastern country, Tanner?
I'm actually, do you want me to just read the Wikipedia summary for the plot?
That would be wonderful.
Okay, the game revolves around rapper 50 Cent. The co-player's character can be one of 3 other members of the G Unit
Tanner,
crew.
question.
Yes.
What's the name of the main guy?
Don't make me do this, Tyler.
Please? You're so white.
50 Cent.
50.
He's going to kill you.
it's 50 cents.
If you say
Go,
if you say
Tanner.
50 cents in a
It's your
mirror 3
birthday.
times, he shows up and kills you for being a punk.
He has a hook hand. He
Uh,
puts 8 shots in you.
However you'd like to say it, like I said, or like I've alluded to before, my whiteness is inescapable, so I tend to say 50 Cent.
Yeah. Okay.
The game is set. Well, yeah, the other members of the G Unit crew. The game is set in. I can't do anything
Yeah.
around here without being white. Guys. My whiteness can't.
Just embrace it, buddy.
That's
No,
what
I
I
really
do.
don't think whiteness. Anyway, the game is set in an urban war zone in an unnamed Middle Eastern country where 50 Cent and G Unit have been hired to play a rap concert. After the concert, the promoter and Warzone are able to pay them $10 million in cash, but he relents after being threatened. So, our hero, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
However,
Threatens for his payment.
yeah.
Yeah.
However, instead of the cash they were promised, he gives them a diamond and pearl encrusted human skull.
Yep.
The Crystal Skull.
Yep, as collateral.
That's
This
not
is
human.
promptly stolen by a paramilitary group led by the terrorist Kamal. 50 Cent, with the help of selected G-Unit partner, decides to get it back at any cost, and soon they find out there is a much bigger enemy than Kamal.
So
Can you guess
Kamal
how many-
Nanjiani
Yeah.
is
Okay, so guess how many times that soundtrack has like an
Oh,
desert
God.
sound effects. It's
Yeah.
got more than a Michael Bay movie. Yeah.
Jesus. So hold on. Let me
It
clear
was
this
well
up because
received by critics,
I
by the
was
way.
thinking that what would have had to have happened to even get this game greenlit was that he was over there performing. The terrorists took out all the armed forces there, so then 50 Cent and G-Unit take it upon themselves to stop terrorism. But no, they're really just after this crystal skull
Yeah.
that they extorted in the first place. That's only worth $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's where... Wait. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
He was only going to get paid 10.
So-
Wow.
So
Wow.
here is the best part
Wow.
about this game. Well, the reason this game was made
Wait,
in
no,
the first
10
place
million.
is
Okay.
THQ distributed it, which
no
back in the
longer
day,
exists.
yeah, no longer exists because
Yeah.
back in the day they would literally license anything.
Yeah.
If you were famous enough, they put your video game out.
Did you guys play any Smuggler's Run by THQ?
I did play Smugglers.
That was a lot
That's
of
That's a
fun,
good
yeah.
game. That's a solid game.
Yep.
THQ had some solid things they published, but
Oh, yeah.
they really...
Did THQ do any of the Tony Hawk games?
They did all the time.
Okay, yeah, that's what I saw.
They
They
also
also-
Neversoft.
They also did the SmackDown vs. Raw games for a bit, and they also did MX Unleashed.
Yeah, those SmackDown games were very good.
Do you remember those Def Jam fighting games?
Oh yeah, where you could be like Method Man,
Yeah.
just stomping somebody out. Those games were awesome.
But not only, like, it was the whole Def Jam roster, because also for the PlayStation 1, do any of you guys remember the Wu-Tang game?
Oh
It
yeah,
was Wu-Tang
That's
Shaolin.
nothing to fuss with.
It wasn't Shaolin style, but it was called Shaolin something.
yeah.
And yeah, you played, it was like, there was a story mode.
it was
but
a Mortal Kombat game with,
exactly, the
Wu-Tang
whole
members.
Wu-Tang roster.
Yeah.
You could get everything from Inspector Deck to Ghostface.
everybody's favorite Wu-Tang member, You God. You can be
yeah.
You God.
Uh-huh.
By the way, I just looked up THQ. So they were bought. A lot of their stuff was bought by a company called Nordic. So now it's just called THQ Nordic. Yes, that is exactly what it's called.
That sounds like some sort of weird Nazi regime.
Yeah,
I
I guess
don't-
they just had to do damage control after making two 50 Cent video games.
I don't like women.
What? I guess I missed something?
Nordic.
I see.
Oh, Jesus.
Tyler, why don't you write for IGN? You would kill it.
I was about to kill myself. The THQ logo that Tanner has pulled up, I enjoy that as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh, whoa, huh. Fitting.
That's fun. That was
Fitting.
Game Informer being cheeky back in the day. Yeah. So the reason we're talking about a video game that's 10 years
yeah,
old
yep.
is that the Edge magazine put out a recent interview with some of the developers on that game, and the nightmare that it was working for 50 Cent making this video game.
It was like the Fyre Music Festival.
Yeah, it was the Fyre Music Festival of video games.
Wouldn't it
So-
be amazing if the people who ran this also were forced to be a part of who were part of the making the Fyre Festival? They're just like, not
He
again.
went from developing music games to video festivals.
Why not?
At least the video game actually happened. The Fire
Yeah,
Festival
and it was actually well received.
is arguably didn't even happen.
I would now like to read a quote from production director Ian Flatt. There was one milestone where our guys had to fly over to present the build of the game to 50 Cent and his management team. He wanted his son, who was about 6 or 7 at the time, to be the person who would review the build and decide if it was any good. So, right off the bat, I don't want to play the game. Let's have my 6-year-old child play the game. This is where it gets really good. So he played it and was saying, I love this, it's great, but I want a level with helicopters in it. Our guy explained it was a third-person shooter and didn't have helicopters in it. Because typically a helicopter experience in a video game, it's that first-person shooter on the rails type moment,
Yeah.
Instead, the kid replies with, no, I want helicopters. And 50 Cent at that point says, you heard him, make a level with helicopters in it. And that's why that video game has 6 different helicopter boss battles in it.
They just went over the top with it to
Absolutely.
make 50 happy.
Yeah, not to make 50 happy, to make a 7-year-old boy happy.
Yeah. Yeah, so that
We're
shows,
talking about Nickel here.
Oh.
So that shows how
Oh.
much 50 Cent cared about this game, is that he didn't care to play it. He didn't care to have anyone from his team play it. And I guess there's a certain amount of logic in that kids traditionally play more video games than adults. But he had no interest in even hiring someone who's like a video game aficionado. He just gave it over to his 6 or 7-year-old son, who By the way, this is rated 18 plus.
Yeah.
I don't imagine 50
Oh
Cent
no,
really.
it's 50
it's
Cent's
super
son.
violent and super racist. It's a lot of fun.
Like,
it's
it's
a Middle East based
Islamophobic type.
Yeah,
racism?
what do you
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah.
a game in the Middle East with 50 Cent being like, "You gypped money out of me, and now I want this crisp," where the Middle Eastern promoter gives him a jewel-embedded human skull. I'm sure it's very sensitive.
Yeah, it was released in 2009.
Yeah.
too, so.
This
Oh,
was-
really? It looks terrible for 2009.
Oh yeah,
really,
no,
yeah.
it's awful. And like the best part is like, so they have a game made,
You say
right?
that. I'm looking at these scores, man, and they're pretty positive.
Wait a second, dude. 50 made 18 exclusive tracks just for this game.
Yeah.
What?
So he made 18 songs just for this game that he didn't care enough to play, that are, like Jack said, probably riddled with, AK-47 fire and Islamic chants and stuff like that. I'm sure there's at least one Allahu Akbar in
Also-
there.
Oh, do you
this-
think there's like he has a song with like sitar in the background on the beat or something like that? Where he's like, "I got my Middle Eastern flair."
Also, looks like this game did not sell super well. It was estimated to sell around 56,000 copies.
About 50 cents worth.
Yeah, you could find it in the 50 Cent bin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they.
Back in my day, 50 cents
I
would
think-
get you a 50 cent video game.
I think the best part is that so they had like a whole video game made, right? And then they're like, we got to add all these helicopter levels into it in order to appease this child king. And so they basically stitched like those things together with mechanics they didn't have implemented because they didn't have driving mechanics or anything put in the game. So he's just like talking about how we had to get cars working and bumping into each other, make AI that would fight while driving, create audio for engines and collision sounds. It required a huge amount of mechanics and work just for one small section of the game that was completely useless for the core of it.
Oh my god. And so if it was 50 Cent's video game, I mean, surely he didn't foot any part of the bill. He probably
No, it's all licensed
Yeah,
through
exactly. So
THQ.
he just made a ton of
no,
money.
he's just a very efficient businessman.
and he cost them probably at least $1 million
Off
just
a
because
game
his
that
son
flopped
wanted
really
a
hard.
helicopter.
Yeah.
It's their own
Jesus.
fault. There's a reason THQ isn't in business
How
anymore.
many games do you think the studio published
50.
or it developed?
50.
Oh, as many dummies books as
Oh,
there are.
yeah.
I'm going
Off
to,
like-
for real guess, 230.
I'm going to guess 80.
I'm going to give about 250.
5.
What?
The
500?
development studio published 5 games.
THQ?
No. The developers, not the
Okay.
publisher.
Oh.
That's
Oh, I was thinking THQ.
Yeah.
Oh, the people
okay.
that made.
So
Blood
you're
on the
talking
Sand
about
had made
Swordfish
5
Studios?
Yeah, and it looks like they also developed the hit World Championship Rugby, Brian Lara International Cricket 2005, Cold Winter, which was a first-person shooter, and I guess that's how they got the rights to make 50
Okay,
Cent.
yeah, because I was
It's
about
so
to say, how do you just make obscure sports games?
That's how video games work, though. Like, if you look back at, like, Hideo Kojima, who's the creator of the Metal Gear games, like, the auteur of video games. His earliest projects are, like, edutainment type stuff, where it's just, like, the equivalent of, like, Carmen Sandiego or something like that,
Okay, gotcha. All right, guys. Well, we're going to take our third break and final break. We'll come back, talk about some more nerd culture, and then let Jack give us a movie rundown. At which point, we'll also talk about another James Gunn production, The Belko Experiment. So join us back here in about 10 minutes. Take it easy till then. Back from our third and final break. It is May 1st, Prime Nation Live, and it's movie time. Why don't what are you going to call your segment, Jack? We've never...
I don't know.
We've got
but you
Gerard's-
said it's movie time, and I was just like, let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
What's the root of that? What did that start with?
What, with the let's all go to the lobby?
that
They like
song.
play that before movies. and
Yeah,
stuff,
but, like-
to get you by snacks.
We
Was
need a
it-
year right now, Jack.
Oh, you need like a year? I'm sorry,
Right
I'm
now.
not Rain Man with the movie theater commercials.
1860,
The
70.
film wasn't like, a thing until...
If you had, I have it right here. If you had to guess, what do you
1830s.
guess?
What am I guessing?
Yeah.
I mean, it had to be in color, so I'm going to guess
1940s.
like late 30s,
I've
early
seen-
40s.
I've seen that in black and white.
Me too.
I'm
but
going to
it was-
guess it was a 1953 musical Snipe.
Feel real
Let's
proud
all
of
get
yourself,
on the
Steve?
internet. Let's all get
Yeah.
on the internet.
I had just looked it up, when Tanner said that. But yeah, so 1953. It was played purely as an advertisement. I didn't know if it was like from a movie itself or what.
Also,
No.
I guess it says snipes are defined as material broadcast and projection screen. I always thought it was a fake bird.
I always thought it was the guy who played Blade.
Snipes.
Yeah, you ever gone on a snipe hunt?
No, I thought it was the website that disproved things.
Big
Let's snipe that real quick.
DC sniper style. Just gonna snipe that real
Movies.
quick.
Yeah, that's my segment. It's the DC sniper segment with Jack Nelson.
Can they make him into a DC comic book character? Can we put Deadshot into?
Oh my God! Can you imagine Deadshot versus the DC sniper?
It's like as Marvel has Captain Marvel, DC just introduces the DC sniper.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
But yeah, so let's hear about some
okay,
movies.
so movies. I did something a little different this week. Typically, I will go to the movies or rent things on VOD. And
This week you stayed in, didn't do
I
anything.
stayed in this week because I didn't have a chance to catch The Lost City of Z, which I will be reviewing for next week. And I'm really looking forward to. For this week, though, I went to 2 Netflix originals that were distributed through the streaming platform this past week that you all can check out as soon as possible. You have no excuse not to watch either of these if you're looking for something. The first film that I watched was E.L. Katz's Small Crimes, which is a dark comedy crime film that premiered at South by Southwest earlier in the year, and Netflix shortly picked it up before it premiered at the festival. And it is just a fun little, dark crime comedy film about a former cop who got into some trouble for doing some shady things, got out of prison 7 years later, is just trying to forgive and forget and get back to his normal life, and no matter what he can do, things are just getting worse and worse for him. I really it's not a great movie, I will put that out there now, but I think it is the absolute perfect movie to watch on a platform such as Netflix. It makes sense for what their streaming model is, because it's just a lean, mean, fun little movie. It stars that blonde-haired douchebag from Game of Thrones. I don't really need to watch that show.
Peter Dinkelberry.
Yeah, the one that bangs his sister or whatever. That guy.
Okay.
Joffrey.
Yeah.
Is that right?
No, Joffrey's the son of their
Jamie.
of their incest.
Jamie.
John Coffey.
Yeah, Jamie's the name of every son in an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Jamie. Oh my God,
Jamie.
Jingle All the Way.
It's in Jingle All the
He
Way, and
wanted
it's definitely in another.
He wanted not Turbo. What was his name?
Turbo Kid.
It was
No, he did want Turbo Man. He
Yeah,
didn't
he
want
wanted- he
Booster.
wanted-
yeah, exactly.
Turbo Man
Yeah,
doll.
Booster is the one that no one
I have to
wanted.
get the Turbo Man down and stop Phil Hartman from banging my wife. So the reason I was looking forward to Small Crimes is it's the second film of the director E.L. Katz, whose debut is this movie called Cheap Thrills, which you can also watch on Netflix right now. That is absolutely one of the best kind of genre-based films of the past 10 years. It's fantastic. It's a lot of fun. Similar cast members that are in Cheap Thrills return in Small Crimes, including the character actor Pat Healy, who might be the best part of the movie.
Is Cheap Thrills, and I think I've asked you this very question before, is it the one with David Koechner?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a great movie. This one's fun. I feel like it drags in certain points, but overall, it's a good little movie if you're looking for something to watch. It's co-written with Macon Blair, who has his directorial debut also went out on Netflix called I Don't Want to Live in This World Anymore.
That was an interesting movie.
It's very stylistically similar to that.
Okay.
He co-wrote and co-stars in Blue Ruin and Green Room, which are 2 fantastic films made by his buddy Jeremy Saulnier.
Okay. I haven't watched Green Room yet.
Oh man, Green Room was my favorite movie of last year.
How brutal is it?
It's pretty brutal. I mean, you
Yeah.
see a dog eat a guy's face off.
Okay.
But
I was going to put it on. My girlfriend and I were looking for a movie to watch, and I think this was the night we settled on Don't Breathe. And I was about to put Green Room on, but just every review I read about it was talking about how brutal it is, which is fine with me, but my girlfriend isn't so nice.
It is not excessively brutal. I think that he might be the best filmmaker I've seen in recent memory that uses violence to a really an effective manner. It's not excessive.
Mm-hmm.
It more just makes you feel for these characters, and you're seeing that these people that you've kind of grown to really like in a short period of time kind of all of a sudden just be taken out in this very vicious way where it doesn't really go addressed throughout the rest of the movie because they have stuff to deal with in that present moment. It's very interesting.
That's Patrick Stewart, right?
Yeah, Patrick Stewart playing neo-Nazi. It's a lot of fun.
What is Green Room about?
It's a punk band. It stars Anton Yelchin, who passed away last year.
I didn't realize that he starred in it.
Yeah,
That's
he's the
another
lead
reason
of
for me to
it
watch
with Maybe from Arrested Development, and they play
nice.
they play in a hardcore band. They get a gig booked by this kid last minute in Oregon. He warns them that it's a
there are cars involved. Be careful.
Yeah, it's a skinhead bar. They go there, they do their show. Maybe leaves her phone like in the green room. She goes in there. There's a dead girl on the floor, and then this punk band's boarded up in this green room with a bunch of neo-Nazis surrounding them, trying to kill them. And Patrick Stewart's just there, being angry and throwing out slurs in his Patrick Stewart voice, and it's a lot of fun. As you can kind of see, like I was talking about small crimes, but it just kind of leads me to talk about these better movies with these people involved in them. And that's kind of what it made me feel like. I also just was of the mind of, like, Cheap Thrills is legitimately one of the best kind of dark comedy, genre, horror films, whatever you want to call it, that I've seen in such a long time, that I think no matter what this guy would have made to follow it up, it was going to disappoint me in some way.
Yeah.
But it's still absolutely worth a watch. It's a quick hour and a half, and it's just got some great minor roles in it. I mean, the cast is just fantastic. I mean, you've got Robert Forster from Jackie Brown as his father in it, and he is amazing. You got Gary Cole, from Office Space, and he plays Lumbergh in Office Space, and Ricky Bobby's dad, and and he's just a really good, corrupt cop guy.
I never put those two and two together, that Lundberg is Ricky Bobby's dad.
Yeah, he's fantastic. It's a fun little movie. I'm not going to say that it's fantastic. I think it's everything I've kind of led up to it. I'm maybe being a little hard on it. But I really, if you're looking for something to throw on, you just want kind of a fun little thing to watch, you really can't go wrong with it.
Cool.
You're not going to regret it at all. And then the second film that I watch, which has had a lot of hype behind it, that is absolutely fantastic and interesting and unique, is the new documentary casting JonBenet, which is unlike anything I've seen before. It's really cool. It is less about the case itself and more how just kind of everyday people react to these sorts of crimes, and kind of how they will exploit them in ways to make them about themselves.
So what's the premise? Like, why is it called Casting JonBenet?
So basically it's shot in Boulder, where she was killed, her hometown, and it uses locals from the town and various kind of actors and stuff like that who are being cast for a role in a movie that these filmmakers are making about JonBenet Ramsey.
So is it a documentary?
It's a documentary.
Oh, I like this a lot.
Yes.
They don't know what's going on, do
so
they?
It's basically like, I heard one of the filmmakers put it as, it's the most elaborate community theater piece ever.
Everyone involved doesn't know what's going on? Some of them don't,
yeah.
right? Okay.
So it's them just talking head style, talking about talking about themselves, and then talk it's my name is so and so. I'm auditioning to be Patsy Ramsey, and then they'll just there's one woman, and all of the women are dressed exactly in the same red sweater, and then one woman comes in and she's not in that outfit, and she's just well, Patsy wore an outfit like this a lot, and I found these earrings that are exactly like hers, and this, and it's just all these people kind of finagling way to just make it about their lives in some aspect, and also interspersing it with just a breakdown of the case itself, and having these different actors do reenactments of the scenes.
But they're not actually making a film.
They're not actually making.
It's all
a
for the
film.
purpose. Of
It's
the
all
documentary.
for the purpose of
That
this
is
doc.
interesting.
So it's kind of a film within this documentary.
But they don't know that.
Yeah, but they do not know that.
That is cool. Yeah.
So it's really cool. It's not exploitive, because.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah.
I was going to ask about the moral implications of this, because this seems a little shady. I love it.
No,
but it seems like it could be a little morally ambiguous.
It seems like it could feel that way, but it really never felt that way while I was watching it.
Are they exploiting yokels?
No, not at all.
Dumb hicks?
No, these aren't dumb hicks at all. These are a lot of these people came there because they wanted to act in a JonBenet movie, and then you have
so
some
they're
of these
people
guys
that deserve to be exploited.
Yeah,
okay.
Well,
they're either people who deserve to be exploited, or it's legitimate. You see guys auditioning for the police chief, and a lot of them are former cops and stuff like that. So there's the best line I think in the whole documentary is this dude is a former Chicago police officer, retired, moved out to Colorado, and he's just sitting there, and he's when this case happened, I remember that our entire department used this case as a standard of what not to do at a murder investigation.
Whoa.
Why?
Yeah. Oh my God, you can just go through that case. They didn't cordon it off at all. Pat, I can't remember the father's name. He he touched her body when he found it. The whole crime scene was completely tainted. They put rookies in charge of monitoring the scene, so they're just freely walking around and not cordoning anything off. It was
Kurt Cobain's murder investigation was probably handled better than JonBenet's.
Well, he's had two.
Yeah,
that was recently reopened a couple years ago.
Yeah,
because of that awful documentary.
Well, yeah, but it's just ridiculous how little care and like protocol they put into that. But yeah, John Bonet is even like it's. I mean, I'm no expert in it, but I know just tangentially that it's ridiculous how little they cared about it. But that's like, and what I was gonna say is that even though it might be a little bit exploitative, hopefully it opens those people's eyes to the moral implications of what they're doing.
It's exploitative in a way that whole case was exploitative.
Yeah,
because it's like that's like complaining. I feel like the People versus O.J. Simpson series and saying that show was like completely ridiculous and cartoony in its performances, and it's like, did you watch how that case went down? Because the whole thing was completely cartoony in its performances.
And just like that, how that show sort of mirrors the real life version of it. I mean, John Bonet's whole situation was pure exploitation.
She was actually exploited by her
I'm not
family.
complaining that there was exploitation. I'm just
I know.
But it's exploitive in a way where it is absolutely exploitative.
Right.
I should say that I shouldn't like dance around it not being. It absolutely is, but in a way where you're not feeling bad for these people.
As long as it's not like the victim's family, I'm fine with it. If
No,
it's people that are like trying to audition for a movie about
trying-
that in
that's
the
exactly what it is.
hometown,
Yeah.
and if some of them know them, they deserve to be exploited.
Yeah,
'cause
that's exactly what it
They're
is.
trying to exploit the situation
yeah,
themselves.
it's very much of that.
And I do think it is really interesting how it's sort of like a snake eating itself, how you started with exploitation, everything that's come from the case has been exploitative, even this documentary to a certain extent is exploitative, like it's
the whole thing's gross.
Yeah.
Like it's absolute. Like you can't listen to that case, delve into reading about that case with just not feeling like Jared Fogle when you come out of it. Like it's disgusting.
So what do you think happened? I don't want to open up too big of a can of worms. But
So like I honestly don't know. I don't think that her family killed her.
Okay.
Which a lot of people do.
Where was the body found?
Like it was found in the wine cellar. So
Of
like she
their
was-
house?
Yeah. So
They have
she
a
was-
wine cellar?
They were
Yeah.
her father was like a part of like a private military a contracting
Jesus.
company, which leads a lot of people to think that like
Yeah.
it had to deal with like weird like government
Political-
like black ops type like shadow stuff, because it is a lot of shady stuff that he dealt with. Like I believe that a lot of his business partners went on to like do like military defense stuff with like the conflict in the Middle East and stuff that occurred with 9/11 and stuff like that. Like real shady business practices on the whole.
Wait, this is pre 9/11?
Oh yeah, this was like 96,
yeah, that's
97.
what I think.
Really?
Yeah.
And like I don't know how much you know about it, but her family was putting her in like these beauty pageants constantly.
Yeah, because her mother was in them, and like
Yeah.
it also kind of leads. I mean, not to get into like too much of like nitty gritty details or whatever, but I mean she was found like in the basement like bound up.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like a clear like accident thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that she probably had like other things happen to her
Yeah.
leading up to her death, and that's probably why she was killed. So I think it might have been like a tertiary family member or something like that.
Because I've heard, I don't know if it's as a result of one of these latest documentaries or not, but I've heard more people talking about her brother recently.
Yeah, but her brother was young at the time.
Yeah.
Like I think he was like 12 or something. Like if you think like a 12-year-old boy can like strangle a child and like bound them up and then carry them down to the basement, like that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And then to make it seem like somebody like escaped the house because there was like a small like window open in the basement or something like that.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of weird details to it. It's one of the murkier cases out there, like especially in terms of like modern cases. There's not a lot of like major unsolved things where you can't really like point to one thing and be like, well, it's not this, but it's probably definitely this.
Do you think it's worth like a making a murderer?
No, I don't. They've tried and tried, and I honestly think because there hasn't been like a clear, defined answer to what occurred, that just kind of goes to refute the idea that there's probably some really shady stuff bigger than what we're thinking is happening.
Yeah, they would have
it,
identified some tie yet. Now.
Or if anything, maybe it is family related, and it's one of those where we're like, we're going to keep it on the DL because we don't want people to know that Uncle Paul went in and did this thing or whatever, like.
Or could it just be that the evidence was that screwed up from the crime?
Oh,
scene?
that it's a lot of that too.
Yeah.
The evidence was absolutely screwed up, but there's then a lot of other things that were just ignored, and just like, I mean, that letter is so fake.
What
And
letter?
The letter, like the ransom note, because the
Okay.
whole thing was like, mom comes downstairs and it's like Christmas Day or whatever, and there's like a ransom note saying like, we have your daughter or whatever, and it's like this weird organization and making references to like the husband's like business practices, and then they left like a receipt of one of his checks that he had made for like a bonus like in the house or something like that. So that's what leads a lot of people to think that it might have to do with that. Also, the note is really stupid and kind of makes no sense whatsoever. And like one of the zodiac letters has more clarity than this note. Like, and then her body's just like found in the basement. So the kidnapping's clearly like a whole like fake ruse. Like, why would you write a kidnapping note for a child that
Is
you've
dead
already
in
killed?
the house.
That's already killed and in the house.
Yeah.
Like, and so that's why a lot of people think it was the parents.
Yeah.
So
who
I
wrote the
honestly
note as like a misdirect.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I can't. I don't have like any crazy wild theories about it. Also, this case on the whole doesn't really interest me that much. Like, it's kind of like you delve into like a little bit of it, and then you're just like, yeah, I think I've gotten like
the gist of it.
Yeah, there's not a lot of clarity to anything. You just kind of leave with more questions than anything else.
Yep.
Like, at least with like the Zodiac case, you can kind of draw your own conclusions, and you're like, yeah, well, this makes the most sense to me. With this case, there isn't anything that makes the most sense to me whatsoever.
Gotcha.
It just gives you more questions. It's like watching the Matrix sequels. You're just like, what's happening right now?
So that is Casting John Bonet. Both that and Small Crimes are on Netflix. And real quick, I would like to hear a little bit about Belko Experiment.
Oh,
So it was
okay.
another James Gunn
Yeah,
written project.
so James Gunn pen flick that came out earlier in the year. I'm assuming that should be coming out on like Blu-ray and VOD within the coming months.
As far as I know, it's sort of underperformed at the box office.
Yeah, well,
At least what they were
they
expecting.
kind of dumped
it
it
came
out
out?
there.
Yeah, I was about to say, I
Yeah.
heard about it like a week before it came out.
Yeah, they just kind of dumped it out, and you know, it is a good movie. I think it is the issue that a lot of like dark horror comedies fall into the trap of, which is that the first 2/3 of the movie are pretty strong and a lot of fun, and then the last act for me just really kind of fell off, where I was just kind of like, I mean, that's resolution, but I don't really care about it.
That's kind of how I felt with Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, that's a great way. That's a great
Yeah.
comparative.
I
Real.
do not like the ending of Cabin.
Yeah,
in the
I
Woods.
don't
either.
either.
And so honestly,
Because sorry to go off track with Cabin in the Woods, but it seems like it's so like science driven for most of it.
Yeah.
And then it goes so off the rails at the end with the demonic
Yeah.
sacrifices.
Talk about a Deus Ex
and
Machina. I mean,
Yeah.
that is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Is this to that extreme?
No, it is not to that extreme. I would say that it kind of goes there a little bit.
Creeps up on it.
Yeah, but I would say it kind of has the reverse of that film Small Crimes I was talking about, where the whole movie kind of leading up to that, you're like, this is good, but the ending for Small Crimes, I forgot to say, is absolutely fantastic and like is so rewarding and makes the whole movie absolutely worth the journey.
Cool.
And Belko Experiment is almost the opposite. You're like, I'm having a really good time, and the last 20 minutes hit, and you're just kind of like, yeah, okay, well, I see where this is going.
In terms of the
so
explanation for what's going on?
Yeah,
Because from what I gathered, they were very cryptic in their marketing.
look, I'm going to just give it away,
Yeah,
but it's not
sure.
even really
I
given away.
looked
It's
it
a
up,
social experiment where it's just like a team, like, like a secret, like Illuminati type society, a la Cabin Woods. But it's just like, no, we were doing like an experiment to see who like the strongest person was, and it's like, and like the whole place is like video monitored up, and this dude's sitting and like trying to interview him afterwards. And then there's like the little explosives devices in their heads. The guy takes them, plants them on all of them, because he just becomes a badass action hero out of nowhere and kills all of them.
Okay.
And it falls into those James Gunn traps where it's just like, the nerdy guy's the biggest hero on the face of the planet. Look, he gets the hot girl and he's awesome at everything. And
No, we don't.
yeah, exactly. Like, I
But the
I really
basic
like Super. Did you see Super?
Yeah, I
Have
saw
yet to
Super.
see it.
I
but-
really like it.
Is that Rainn Wilson?
It's
Yeah,
it is. It's a
okay.
good movie.
I really like it up into the weird point where it's like Ellen Page rapes
Same
Rainn Wilson.
here, dude. I
Yeah.
love
It's
that
like
movie.
that's not how real life works.
I
It's
love
such a
that
weird-
movie, and that scene
Yeah.
is just so disarming.
It's gross.
Yeah.
Like there's points in that movie that make you feel gross, but in an effective way. At that point, I was like, this is stupid. Like,
Yeah.
this is not how reality works. You're trying to make this guy something that he's not. Like, just go with it. Like, this is awful.
So James Gunn wrote Super?
Yes, he
He
wrote and directed
directed,
Super.
yeah.
Oh, whoa. I didn't
And
know that.
wrote and directed Slither, which is a really fun,
Yeah.
gore.
And a lot of people
Comedy.
pointed out, like, it has comparisons to Kick-Ass Super, but he did write it and pitch it before Kick-Ass was ever produced.
And I will go to bat that Super is a way better and more effective movie than Kick-Ass.
It's more
is.
effective
Yeah.
at his message for sure, but I enjoy Kick-Ass
Oh,
a
I
lot.
enjoy Kick-Ass because Matthew Vaughn is just,
Yeah.
honestly, can really do no wrong.
Well,
and is
also,
one of the most fun
he's
It's like
filmmakers.
Nicolas
Kingsman,
Cage
right?
is...
Yeah.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage gives a great performance in that
He's
movie.
so good. My favorite, like, hammed up Nicolas Cage performance is like the whole like, I'm gonna get Hank D'Amico, and he's just like screaming. It's awesome. He's Nicolas Cage is the best.
He's pretty great. Also, Jack, at the end of the Belko experiment, was it like a Marvel end credits reveal, but instead of Thanos, it was this guy here?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And he was wearing fishnet stockings and eating out Ben Franklin.
So all these strong man.
Good callback. Nice work, Tanner. So real quick, let's play at least one round of press conference. Who wants to be holding the press conference?
I'll do it.
Okay, sure. So once Tyler gets over there, I think those headphones are plugged in, so just make sure you unplug them so there's no eavesdropping.
For the any possible new listeners, press conference, we send someone out of the room and we come up with who they are going to be giving a press conference and what they are giving it for. So then, guys, what do you think?
So I wrote down these two. They're kind of half-baked, but maybe we can go somewhere with them. He could either be that Billy McFarland guy who is planning to open a luxury children's hospital, or he could be 50 Cent, who has now replaced Saudi Arabia on the UN Women's Rights Commission.
I like the idea of 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what should he be doing?
Making a new game.
I thought he should just be the UN leader, how, like, Joker becomes the UN leader of Saudi Arabia
true.
in that weird
Really?
Death in the Family
Iran,
moment.
but you are correct.
Oh, yeah. It is. Either way, real weird and real racist
Yep.
out of nowhere in that comic.
All right, well, then let's just go with...
He's the ambassador to Saudi Arabia? Or what?
Yeah, let's go with the original idea. He's replacing Saudi Arabia on the UN Women's Rights Commission.
Okay.
Okay.
Topical, baby.
yeah.
Bill, would you mind getting Tyler back in here? Thank you very much. Oh, and also our Krispy Kreme were courtesy of our producer, Bill. So we got to give a shout out to Bill for that as well.
Thank you, Bill.
It doesn't fit too well over the headphones. I don't know if you could tell.
It's getting the message out
Yeah,
there.
I need, like, the magnums of Krispy Kreme hats, if you know what I'm saying, guys.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Tyler.
Here. Got another one for you, Tanner.
Thank you. Did all that.
All right, thank you all for coming. Very, very happy to finally get this off my chest. Before we get into anything, I'll take some questions. Yes, you, sir. Please state your affiliation.
Sydney Roberts from Daily World News. It's been in the headlines in recent years that you've been having some financial problems.
None
Now-
left. There's no money.
Okay, well, I understand that this position is not necessarily known for its pay, unlike most of your other primary occupations. So, would you say that this is an attempt to rectify your reputation, or I mean,
It's all for money. There's
Okay.
nothing to do with reputation.
doing
This-
it all for money? Okay.
This particular thing's all for money.
Interesting.
They tried to pay me in ham sandwiches. I said, nope, got to get some cash this time. Yes.
Alex Jones, Infowars.com.
All right.
I just got a quick question for
Pick
you.
Finney Performance
Oh,
Work.
Thank you so much. First question is just basically coming from somebody such as yourself that doesn't typically have experience in this sort of field, how's it taken to adjust into caring about this sort of lifestyle now?
At first, I was dumbfounded, but now I think I deserve this.
And second, do you have a filter that'll take the fluoride out of your water system and not make you a homosexual?
Not currently. Are you selling one of these?
Yeah, absolutely. They cost $69.95. They're typically $173.
All right, I'm gonna haggle with. I'm gonna give you 62.
62.
$62 flat.
I'll take that as long as I can
excuse me,
take my shirt off.
Gentlemen, I know Daily World News, this is not my place, but I don't think this is the appropriate setting for
We'll make a business transaction afterwards.
I'll give you 60. $199. Final deal. Meet me in the parking lot after. Yes, you sir over there with the Klingon hands.
Yes. Vulcan.
Sorry.
So
I was looking at your face and I thought Klingon.
Oh.
Thanks. So I'm from the Klingon Vulcan Gazette. I'm Mr. Romulan, and my question is, you're replacing someone who was not well received to begin with. I mean, do you think and your replacement has caused some controversy, but do you think you'll be better than the person you were originally replacing?
Absolutely. Look at me.
Okay,
Enough said.
you've got.
Whatever they did, whatever they screwed up, I can fix it. Whatever they did great, I'll screw up. Yes.
So it has been said, again, Sydney Roberts from Daily World News, it has been said that not only your lyrics, but also your television shows you're affiliated with have strong misogynistic overtones. How do you plan to balance this out with this new position?
I think women are just too stupid to figure out what my lyrics are about. So they need to, shape up or get over it.
Interesting
And,
stance.
They.
I'd just like to read a quote from some of your lyrics real quick, and maybe you could justify it for me. This is a hook for the song. I don't know what you heard about me, but a bitch can't get $1 out of me. No Cadillac, no perms, you see. That I'm a MFN-PIMP. Now shorty, she's in the club, dancing for dollars. She's got a thing for Gucci, the Fendi, that Prada. The BCBG, Burberry, Dolce & Gabbana. She feed them foolish Spanishies. Pay her 'cause they want her.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs that I did. What's the year on that again? I do so many. I forgot.
I can't remember what year.
I'm going to guess 2004.
Yeah, that's
2004. Okay, yes.
That's 2003. It's from your debut album, produced by Dr. Dre and Eminem.
Yes, I am. I am not worth what I once was, but I'm worth about half of it now. So, yes. Any other questions about what I'm here for?
Well, sorry.
No, go ahead. By all means.
Hey, yes, Commander Riker, the Picard Gazette. So,
You're the third Riker I've seen today.
Oh, Riker!
I guess, yeah, in regards to what you're here for, just what's your game plan? How are you going to change anything? I mean, do you believe... I understand your influence
Mostly
is strong.
helicopters.
That's
the number one thing.
I understand your influence is very strong, and your son's is as well. But on regards to this is a international. This has been an ancient problem that we're still trying to rectify.
Helicopters are recent.
Exactly.
This is a new solution we haven't tried yet.
Oh, that's okay. That's the solution, because this is a lot of people would say this is a systemic problem, not one that can just
systems. There's systems in helicopters. Okay, we'll get it figured out. Yes.
So do you plan to use helicopters in your solution to this issue?
I use helicopters in every aspect of my life.
In
Using
terms
the bathroom, cooking, going to the grocery store, every bit of it.
Follow-up question: how do you use them in going to the bathroom?
I have toilets in one specific helicopter. It never leaves the ground. It is my toilet helicopter.
So do you plan to institute helicopter training for this particular sect of people who you are now involved in determining how to move forward with? Or
I'm just going to blow them up with helicopters.
Maybe making... Oh, okay. I was going to suggest perhaps helicopter mechanic training programs.
Nope, dead. All of them.
So no education. Okay.
No. They can get helicopter educated.
Charles Xavier from the Professor Xavier School for Gifted Children.
What you got, Hot Wheels?
Just a quick question for you. How will your new position at this board pertain to mutants' rights as well as women's rights?
Oh, I'm on a board. I also killed them with helicopters. Yes.
Well, you're not going to bring the Sentinels in here, are you?
Not yet.
All your helicopters made of metal.
I don't think this is my place again, so forgive me, but so how would you deal with Magneto then? That
You're
doesn't seem
cruising
very
for
well
a
thought out.
helicopter yourself, I gotta be honest.
But helicopters are made of metal, and Magneto can
You
move
can make
only metal.
helicopters out of anything,
You
and you
need
can
a
milk a
plastic
cat
top.
if you want. There's a lot of things you can do.
Are you being sarcastic right now?
No, I use helicopters to
He
milk
can tell.
cats.
He can tell,
I
if you're
can
being
tell.
sarcastic.
I'm going to give you a stroke right now.
Oh, it'll be like you at the end of Logan.
You have any guesses?
I'm 50 Cent, and I'm on a board for something.
You're replacing someone who probably shouldn't have this post on a board in the first
Oh,
place.
am I replacing Neil Gorsuch?
No.
Oh.
No.
I have a quick question. Yes. Why are you replacing us on the board?
On what?
It's like French, Russian.
Okay, here we go. Annie, it is I. So what is a question for?
I'm replacing Pepe Le Pew in Looney Tunes.
No,
As-
Pepe Le Pew would probably be a better replacement still for this position.
So
What does this position do?
Okay, yeah.
Well, this position is more of a representative thing. You're supposed to improve the rights of a certain group of people around the world, sir.
I am ahead of the UN Council.
For what specific? Keep in mind, you're replacing.
Did we talk about this
we
today?
talked about not today, but last
No.
week.
Oh,
We talked about 50 Cent.
when I wasn't
thought that was
here.
enough.
No,
Oh.
you were here.
Not last week.
Yeah.
I was here for part of last week.
Uh-huh. I'm pretty sure you were here when we talked about it, but okay, so I guess we'll just go ahead.
UN Security Council?
Yeah, well, the UN Saudi Arabia is now on the women's rights board.
Ooh, missed this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
that's the thing.
That would explain it. Yeah, Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia.
Oh, yes. Xavier, you have more
no,
questions.
no, it's Alex Jones.
Oh, okay, welcome
I
back.
just wanted to read one last quote from your song, How
Okay.
the Time, real quick. I don't need Dom Perignon. I need that Chris. Tanqueray and Elise. I don't need that ish. N-word all the time. I smoke that good ish. I stay high all the time, man. I'm on that good ish. I was just wondering how you think that'll pertain to your role then, and smoking that loud.
I'm on that ish.
Okay,
Meng.
that's beautiful.
That
Will you
is-
take your shirt off with me?
I guess that
Yes.
explains why you why you didn't know you were on the board. That does it do. Okay, guys. So now we're definitely bringing the show to an end. We're
Are
getting,
you sure?
We're getting topless. Yeah, I know.
All right, Prison Planet.
Tanner,
TV.
what's up, dog?
If you guys want more of this, Tyler and Jack are going to be doing their own separate show.
We'll be selling supplements after the show.
The shirtless movie review hour.
Oh, Sydney, you're last man out.
Oh, look at that right there.
God.
Look at that beautiful specimen of a man sitting right there.
I'm going to continue to hold out because it's time for the show to end. We are a whole 3 minutes over time.
Look at that. Special
This is
show.
what happens when you go over time.
You get that. You get
Yeah,
your
every
shirts
day
off.
right at 12.
You
shirts
get the
come off.
Alex Jones treatment.
Ribbon around your head like a helicopter.
But you guys, you guys aren't. What is that? PD Pablo?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's a PD Pablo reference. We also got a Jay-Z Blood on the Sand reference in
Yeah.
there with the helicopter.
I hope to God that is either a hickey or a birthmark, because if not, you have cancer.
Also,
Oh, yeah, that's
Bill, I
cancer
love
right
that.
there.
I love that now is when you're taking pictures. Never been a better moment in time.
Yeah, it is nice. So everyone, take it in while we do our closing segment. This has been Prime Nation Live, May 1st. I'm Sydney Roberts. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SydneyRoberts18.
And I'm Tyler Wood. You can find me on Twitter at Tyler W. Wood or on Instagram at Styler Wood. And you can find Prime Nation across all social media platforms at Prime Nation Live.
Can we shave in at Tyler Wood on your chest hair?
At Tyler W. Wood, yes.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
so yeah.
I have to have
Two
the full
W's.
thing.
You gotta get that nice post there. I'm Alex Jones. You can find me at cuteboysclub.com, and I am banned from all other social media platforms. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.
And I'm Tanner Methvin. You can find me on Twitter at Tanner Methvin. And I actually have one other thing I want to plug, which is I did a YouTube Let's Play channel with a few friends of mine, and we actually put out something on Friday called Amiibo Adventures. We took those Nintendo figures called Amiibos and basically made a 10-minute short film that took about 2 months to make. And if you look up Amiibo Adventures, Welcome to Hardy Lombardi's, you'll find it.
Nice.
Yeah, we're very proud of it.
Oh, and also, since I mentioned it earlier in the show, I forgot I was wearing a Ryan Singer t-shirt. So
Oh, sweet.
if anybody wants to check out Ryan Singer, he's one of my favorite comedians. Check him out, see if he's coming out
And
near
it's
you.
me and Paranormal You.
Me and Paranormal You is his podcast. It's very entertaining.
Very cool. All right, guys. Well, this is Prime Nation Live. We'll be back 10 o'clock live tomorrow morning. Take it easy in the meantime.